Well, hey there, everyone. Kath Langman here, and welcome back to the Scale My Shopify Store podcast. So today you've got yours truly doing a little bit of a mini training episode. So I'm excited to bring this one to you. And we are going to be talking about meta advertising and how you can make yours, generate better results, improve your returns and cut your costs and all of that kind of good stuff. So, of course, the single most important thing in any e-commerce business, really comes down to one word, and that's traffic. And as we all know, without traffic, literally nothing else is going to happen in your business. So, there'll be no visitors to your online store, no customers adding products to their cart, no orders checking out. It all really does start with traffic. Now, of course, it's not just about generating any old traffic, it's about generating the right traffic, traffic that is high quality, traffic that is going to be profitable for you. And, at the end of the day, you've got to make money from it, right? So, and really over the last few years, the go-to place to generate that traffic for an e-commerce business has been Facebook and Instagram. Now, I'm not saying that's the only place, but it has been, really one of the, if not the, biggest source. Yet it's never been more challenging than, to generate high quality, profitable traffic on these platforms than it is right now. Everyone's pretty much saying the same complaint. My ad costs are too high. And we found the same. CPMs, your cost per impression, which is, the pricing on these platforms, are literally 3 times higher than they were a year ago. So if you're running ads and not getting the results that you want, or you are looking to scale your ads in a bigger way using meta ads, then this episode is going to be a must listen for you. Because here's the thing, even though getting high quality traffic at a profit has gotten harder than say 5 years ago or even 2 years ago, Facebook and Instagram, or Meta as I'm going to refer to them, are still the go-to platforms with billions of regular users on those platforms. And for most online stores, it's a crucial part of your traffic and sales strategy. And, it's definitely a big part of ours as well. So we have spent over $1 million on ads over the last year, and on our own ads and clients' ads as well, and testing and tweaking and refining. And guess what? Despite ad costs skyrocketing 300% compared to a year ago, we've actually been able to work out some methods that cut our cost per purchase by more than 25% and improved ROAS, return on ad spend, by 35% on Meta ad traffic within just 30 days, which of course means that you're able to make more revenue while spending less on ads and generating a much bigger return on ad spend. Sound exciting? I hope so. So today is your lucky day. So in this episode, I'm going to give you a bit of a step-by-step breakdown on exactly which levers we pulled inside of Meta ads to get such incredible results in such a short space of time. So whether you've never run ads before, whether you think running Meta ads won't work for your business either at all or just now, or, maybe you're using Meta ads and your costs are going up and targeting options are going down, or you just love the idea of getting more high quality traffic to your online store and turning it into sales, then I reckon you're going to get some good ideas from this episode for ways that you can improve your results with your ads so that you can make and keep more money. So let's dive in. I'm going to go through our top 5 levers that we pulled inside of Meta ads to cut our cost per purchase by 25% and simultaneously increased our revenue by 50%. And like I said before, increased ROAS by 35%. So let's dive in. Number 1, we want to be leveraging Meta's powerful AI, artificial intelligence algorithm, to find your customers, but you've got to train it first. Now, have you noticed, if you have been running ads on these platforms for a while, have you noticed that a lot of the audiences are no longer available to target? I mean, this has been happening for some time, but it certainly started to be deprecated a lot faster after the Apple iOS 14.5 update, which really impacted a lot of the tracking and I guess, tightened up a lot of the privacy, which is all a good thing, really. But there are definitely a lot of audiences, interest-based audiences that used to be available for us to target, but just now no longer are. And, that comes down to various things, but a lot of our clients are selling products for women and children, and, there definitely are interests that have been deprecated over the last couple of years because they essentially are targeting a particular demographic or stage of life, or other sort of interests that might be a little bit of a, not a privacy breach, but kind of along those lines, I guess. So, we're no longer allowed to identify people by specific, demographic traits that we might have before, like, maternity or pregnancy or that sort of thing. So, there definitely are fewer interest-based audiences that we can track, that we can target rather. And, so that has felt quite restrictive, and it definitely in the moment when those changes get rolled out, it definitely impacts people's ad performance, right? And so in return, or as a result of that, a lot of advertisers, or a lot of even experts, say just go broad targeting and just rely on the ad creative to attract the right people. But that's not really working so great either. And I've audited so many accounts this year, and I'm seeing, that the results are just not great with that kind of an approach. You may have noticed by now that there's for e-commerce businesses, the Advantage Plus shopping campaign functionality has been now rolled out, I think, to everybody. All accounts now have it. And that's been one answer that Meta have introduced to really help, tap into their powerful AI to get ads in front of the right people. But like all AI tools, it's only as smart as the data that you feed it, right? So you need to be able to train the algorithm to know what to do. And so there's a few ways that and just by the by, I did record an episode a couple of weeks ago about how to use AI tools like ChatGPT in your business, and talked a bit about, essentially the need to provide AI tools with the right kind of input to train it to produce good output for you. Obviously, with Meta, we're using the Meta AI, not ChatGPT. However, it's the same thing, right? We need to be able to train the algorithm to find your right customers, and not just rely on the system alone without any of that input. So there is a role here for your organic content as well, and really being able to focus on producing and sharing great quality content that is engaging for the right audience, for your right audience, right? We definitely notice with our clients when they post something really super engaging, often it's a reel, but not always, it can be a variety of content types. And, if they really hit the mark with it, it just has such a positive impact on the ads as well. And at the end of the day, there's a couple of things going on here. You are training the algorithm to be able to recognize who your right audience is. But also, you are essentially, like Facebook and Instagram, these platforms rely on having users who want to spend time on the platform, right? And so if you are kind of essentially being a good business citizen on the platforms by creating and sharing content that users want to engage with, that helps Meta's end goal of having people spend time on the platforms, right? And so you end up getting rewarded for that kind of behavior as well. But there are other ways that I recommend that you use to train the algorithm to find your right audience. Number one, you definitely want to be syncing your Klaviyo database into your into your ads manager, so that you can have those custom audience syncs, and you can use those as custom audiences to retarget those warm audiences. But you can also create really, really good quality lookalike audiences. And of course, Klaviyo being the awesome platform that it is, we have so much capacity to segment our database based on really useful criteria to help you, again, in that endeavor of showing marketing content to the right people. So you definitely want to do that. You can also definitely use lookalike audiences from your customers in your online store. Depending how big your business is, you can use lookalikes to people who've purchased, particular products. If you're not big enough to create a good sized audience there, then obviously just all your customers. But you still want to use interest-based audiences as well. And, this is, and like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago on the show, you can actually use ChatGPT to help you find and brainstorm those interests if the ones that you may have used in the past aren't there anymore. But, being able to use interest-based audiences in your conversion campaigns as well as your engagement campaigns, and putting a little bit of budget behind, just the organic content to boost engagement as well, you will end up being able to train your algorithm faster, and then add in the advantage shopping campaign to help you scale faster. So that's number one, is really being able to tap into and leverage Meta's powerful AI to find your customers faster. But you've got to make sure you are training it and giving the right data to your algorithm so that it can find your customers faster. The second lever that I want to talk about is about the creative, and again, using and tapping into and leveraging Meta's powerful AI, using the dynamic creative functionality to show the right creative to the right people. And just, incidentally, like in the past, we advertisers, we would want to have all of the control. We would want to be using ad set budget so that we could really control the budget going to different audiences. We would want to, have different ads sitting under those ad sets so that we could really see and control, which ad creatives were performing the best and all of that kind of stuff. And you can still do those sorts of things. But in my experience right now, using the platform where it's really good, and then knowing, obviously what you do best, or you should be able to do best as a marketer, then you're going to end up with a better result. And so, as a platform, the dynamic creative, it gives a little bit like using campaign budget optimization or Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. Like, that means you're tapping into this AI tool to really be able to do its thing, but you've got to put the right creative in, right? So we, as marketers, we need to know our customers best. That's our job, right? We really ought to be putting as much effort as we can into really understanding deeply who our customers are, what are their pain points, what are their desires that, are motivating them to go looking for a product to buy. What outcomes do they really want to enjoy, or experience by using products like yours, all of that kind of stuff, right? We need to make sure that we understand that very deeply. But different people will still respond differently to different ad creatives, right? So we do need to take the time to create a variety of visuals and also a variety of copy as well, so that we can try different messaging in our ads. Most people are motivated to avoid loss more than they are motivated to act towards a desire. That's a bit of a blanket statement, but that's kind of the majority of us. But the carrot does entice some, so you definitely want to try some pain point related messaging as well as some benefit related messaging. You also want to do things like trying some long copy as well as some really short copy. And, don't assume that just because one type of ad or one exact ad worked best this one time, that's what your customers are always going to respond to. So this is where, again, dynamic creative can really come into its own. And then you want to try visuals in a variety of formats as well. So, like still image versus animated GIF versus video, whether it's, it could be an unboxing video, a demo video, or a UGC style video. Also try things like carousels or collection ad formats, as well as single image or single video. And just make sure you're also designing for all the placements like reels and stories and newsfeed and so on. And also make sure that if you are using video, that you're doing it in a way that people don't have to have the sound on for it to make sense. And then also make sure you have a diverse mix of visuals, so how do we present the messages visually? I like to kind of follow 3 different ways of doing that. So either by highlighting the rational benefit, so why do I need this? Showcasing the product feature, so what is the product? Or highlighting the emotional benefit, how's it going to make me feel? And so when you can diversify your creative in this way, and once you've got all of this together, then you can use Meta's dynamic creative functionality to once again, like I said, tap into the platform's powerful AI tool to optimize your ads and get them showing to the right audiences. All right, so that's the second lever. The third lever that I want to talk about is to run regular promos and promotions. So promotions always do end up acting as a bit of a conversion tool, and that's partly because you're offering extra value to help attract new people and encourage them to try your products, for example, to make a purchase decision. But also because you're tapping into a bit of a fairly powerful buying motivator, which is scarcity or FOMO, fear of missing out, right? And so that can just really help you increase the number of new customers who buy from you, right? And regular promos can also actually help improve your customer loyalty or repeat purchase rate. So that's also good. We always want to have as many and as high a repeat purchase rate as possible in our business, because that does improve profitability as well. So that's always a good thing. Plus, regular promos can really help your brand to stand out from your competitors and give you a little bit of an edge. And, when you're talking about your advertising and trying to get your advertising really dialed in and converting at a profitable rate, that's a really important thing. The digital landscape is pretty cluttered and busy and noisy. And so to be able to stand out, you've got to try everything, right? And so because of this, the increase in conversions in a shorter space of time frame, this also helps to train the algorithm to find your customers faster and more accurately. And because it's doing that in a shorter space of time, usually it's also going to reduce your costs and give you, better revenue and ROAS outcome. But what we are finding now as well, that the end result of that kind of activity is also an improvement in your business as usual ad campaign. So the ones that you're trying to sell at full price, right? And that's obviously what we need over time as well. You can't always be discounting or always giving away free products. You've got to try and sell as much as you can full price. So that's how we are finding regular promos can really help. So then the fourth lever I want to talk about, and I've spoken about this many times on the show before, but I'm going to mention it again here too, because it is so ingrained or so intertwined with your ad performance. And that is using email automation, email and SMS, but mainly email automation to increase your purchase conversions. So, when you spend money on ads, doesn't matter what platform you're spending it on, you end up getting a much higher volume of cold traffic to your site, which is what you want, right? Like, you can't grow a business if you don't acquire new customers over time. It is it is what we need to grow. But cold traffic rarely buys on the first visit to your store. It can take even up to 4 weeks for all of your customers to actually convert the first time, which is a long period of time, right? And, we don't want to leave that to chance. So it's a little bit like trying to carry water in a bucket that has holes in it. So if you are running ads to your website without using email automation, that is what I would say is a very leaky strategy. You are not going to convert anywhere near as many new customers if you do that. And you will end up leaving loads of money on the table, and your ad results will be far less profitable. And of course, you don't want to do that, right? But the thing is, you can't just rely on just having one pop-up that, gives a 10% discount to first orders and maybe, one email or even a couple of emails going out. That's not going to cut the mustard. With your automation efforts, you really need to be split testing your offer and sending several emails and really focusing on that list building. Don't just have one pop up and be done with it. You've got to have multiple ways of list building and really focus in on capturing those contacts in as many places as you can and as many different ways as you can. And when you can get this right, this is going to add 10% to your revenue just here. So super, super powerful. And then the other two ways that you really need to automate your emails for new customer conversion is your browse abandon and your cart abandon as well. And even adding in checkout abandon. All of those sorts of flows are going to really pick up your increase your new customer conversions, and together they can add another 10% to your revenue potentially. So you just can't leave that stuff to chance. But here as well, with your overall email automation strategy, you can also use list segmentation to create even more powerful audiences that you can sync back into your ads manager. So, the virtuous cycle that improves your results even more over time kicks in. So just an extra plug there for email marketing. Can't help myself. I come now to the fifth lever and kind of saved the best for last here in terms of impact. And this is website conversion rate optimization. So this, in our recent experience, is literally worth up to 30% of our improved results, like incredibly big impact on improving the profitability of your ads. Now, so what we find is oftentimes you'll see ads that have a really great click-through rate. They've got lots of people heading to the website, but not as many people actually adding products to the cart or purchasing as you would like. And the end result that you'll see in your ads manager when that's happening is, there's just less people placing orders. The purchase conversion value is lower, the cost per conversion is high, and the ROAS, the return on ad spend, is low. And, a lot of advertisers will think, oh, my ads suck. I need to change my ads. They're not working, or this platform doesn't work for me. I can't advertise here. I don't make enough money. But it's actually, that's not the case. It's just that the landing page that you are sending the traffic to is not good enough. So what we find is working on improving the actual landing page. So whether that's your homepage or your collection page or your product page, definitely, your product page, because that's where people are going to be adding to cart from, right? Improving that is going to have a much bigger impact on your conversion rate, right? And I mean, incidentally, if you do that, it's not only going to help your ads perform better, it's going to, all traffic sources are going to perform better. So, it is worth it. But, at the end of the day, constantly changing the ads and sending your ads back into learning is not going to help you here. That's only going to throttle your results. And we really want to avoid going into learning as much as you possibly can. And so what you can do is leave your ads alone for a little bit longer, let the algorithm keep doing its thing to optimize and let the AI tool do its thing, and spend a bit of time optimizing your website and your product pages in particular to really improve those conversion rates, right? Because that's not going to send your ads back into learning. It's only going to improve the results on the back end. So one client that we're working with at the moment, within a 30-day period, went from a 6.9% add to cart rate and a 4.4% conversion rate on their core product page. This is not the entire website, by the way, but a core product page. And this was a page that we were sending a lot of traffic to. And that product page looked pretty similar to the out-of-the-box Shopify product page, right? Really good information on there. Product images were really beautiful. It wasn't like they were missing any crucial bits of information on there. However, we could see that there was still room to improve. So we spent some time really optimizing that page as best we can, really taking learnings again from all of our research and understanding into their ideal customer, and that, what makes their customers respond, what messaging they respond to and what motivates them to buy, all of that good stuff. Really built out, upgraded and updated that page so that it hit all of the key kind of conversion elements in terms of content and layout and all of that stuff. And we were able to improve those metrics to a 35.5% add to cart rate and a 9.1% conversion rate on the exact same product page, right? And it was, literally just changing the product page. The ads did not change at all. We were not editing the ads in that period of time. And with, so this all happened in a 30-day period where we were pulling all of these kind of different levers, but including website optimization, and the results after 30 days in terms of ad results, profitability, all of that kind of stuff were incredible. So like I said earlier, like an improvement of purchase conversion value of 50%, a reduction of cost per purchase, so the ad costs by 25%, and a 35% improvement in ROAS, or return on ad spend. And so, to really be able to achieve that over such a short space of time is pretty exciting, and I'm pretty sure most of you would want that as well. Now, obviously, what I've gone through today is not an exhaustive list of all the different methods that you can use to improve your ads, but these are 5 really impactful strategies that we are using right now to get some fantastic results for ourselves and for our clients. Now, as always, you do need to be a bit of a nerd when it comes to tracking and understanding your metrics, and not just your ad metrics here either, but your website metrics as well, because those metrics are your data points that are going to inform you about your progress, as well as about what to do next, right? Nobody can make decisions about what to implement next in their marketing or advertising without really understanding what's working and what's not, okay? So tracking metrics, really taking time to understand them is super duper important. Now, so that really kind of is the end of the episode here, but I really very much hope that you've got some useful takeaways from this episode, as well as perhaps a little bit of a boost to your confidence or your motivation to either start investing in meta ads or keep going, but perhaps with a slightly different mindset or approach, so that you can end up with better results. Now, for those of you who are ambitious, who are ready to get some help to scale your Shopify store faster, and really want the help of an e-commerce marketing expert that guarantees your results, make sure you book your free strategy session by heading to productpreneurmarketing.com/let's-talk. And I will, of course, include that link in the podcast show notes page to make it super easy for you to click. Thanks again, though, for joining me this week. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to being back on the show with you again next week. Bye for now.